Come back, the Gigsa community. Remember, we had promised that we are going to build in public together. And after deliberating for a while, remember we did some community update mid last month, and now we are back again now after 30 days. I think we did on 15th last month, and now we are back with 30 days of continuous progress and growth as a Gigset community. So for the first 30 days after our launch, which we did on 26th May, we have managed to go for 30 days of continuous growth, sharing of our community content, organically growing our community to what we have at the moment. And I thought like it's a good thing for me to come back again and update you on exactly what we have been doing and what we are looking forward to do for then going forward. And some of the things which we have gathered so far is to make it sure that everybody understands why GitHub. And of course, I could also highlight the launch story, which we have actually gained as an experience at this time. And also we will look at growth metrics, now acquisition analysis, funnel performance, and of course the marketplace KPIs, key performance indicators, and the founder lessons, things which we have learned so far, and what we anticipate for the next 30 days. So stay tuned. And this is a presentation journal, and for those who will be able to access it, they will be able to leave their contributions or the feedback on that channel. And also we have our WhatsApp channel whereby we leave all those feedbacks. We welcome them. Sometimes we run a poll, and we welcome you to participate in that poll all the time when we are doing it. And feel free, and you're going to learn a lot all these things which you mentioned this file. So straight I will go into why we are building Gigs Hub. What is the problem we are trying to solve, and the what we are building towards. So this is exactly what we want to do. And I don't know how some of you who have been following the channel, you've been seeing me posting a lot of positive posts, long posts about the trends in AI development, and particularly on the distribution of opportunities which we have right now. And I've seen a number of discussions around AI training and AI opportunities, and also reports claiming that AI systems have been systematically disadvantaged African Asian applicants, particularly in hiring. And some people have extended the conversations to AI training and data labeling, and of course AI and opportunities. I've listened to many perspectives, of course, and I think this is an important conversation, and I believe that this discussion actually needs a critical distinction for us to be able to know exactly what is being said and what is the reality. And then let's acknowledge, of course, the fact that what the research is saying, because this research was conducted by Jackman and some researchers from Stanford University, and the findings in that 3.4 million people made applications to different companies, around 110 companies across different industries. And then for those companies which are using AI hiring tools, they managed to receive 4 million applicants. And what it stands out is that the system, the AI system that was used to hire these people discriminated actually, or worked against 26% of the black applicants, and then followed closely by the 16% of the Asian populations. As we know, AI is trained on data, and we know that historically much of the data which has been used, or the first initial database, originate from United States of America, as well as the funding, the infrastructure, and all those. And this has documented cases where AI systems perform better in some populations than others. And these concerns, of course, really, they deserve answer. People say black applicants or Asians have been systematically rejected or automatically rejected by AI. And I think we should ask another question before we make that conclusion that AI itself is discriminating against these populations which we are identifying. And having said that one, some of the things which I want to point out is that where exactly is the rejection happening? It's one of the questions which actually we should ask ourselves before we go into details. We just need to know, is it the model that is making the rejection, or is an automated requirement filter or eligibility filter, or it's a compliance requirement, or it is a regulatory or a legal requirement or restrictions, or it is simply a client specifications and that have been discriminating against these people the way they are seeing it. So that we do not solely say that the models are doing it. These questions matter because not every rejection actually is involving AI company, and it's not caused by the AI model. I've been working in this space. I remember when I was working at Amazon Mechanical Turkey as a micro task at that time, we could actually be rejected from some of the tasks which we had bid for, because the clients had specific requirement that I need people maybe from California or maybe Michigan or that one. Some projects are limited because of data privacy. We need to recognize that one. That we have data residence rules, privacy regulations, tax obligations, export controls, payment, infrastructure, identification, verification, and as well as contractual agreements, or because the clients need data from a particular country, or language, profession, or demographic. We need to be came to be. Now, does this mean there is no bias, algorithmic bias, or it doesn't exist? Because we can say so. It does exist, and as I have already pointed already, that the chairman in such areas such as hiring, lending, healthcare, and facial recognitions, those findings should be taken seriously, and the company should be held accountable when such bias is identified. But it's equally important not to assume that every rejection is evidence of an AI paying bias. I think we need to recognize that one clearly. Sometimes the decisions involving what we are already observing comes from business policies, legal applications, compliance requirements, or client specifications before AI model actually is used in those screening. As Africans, I believe we should continue advocating for fairness and opportunity to work and address the real source of the problem rather than assuming every party as the same cause. If it is compliance, one of our long-term goals is that we should build organizations that meet those standards, and really, and of course, we become one of the trusted vendors, AI offenders, and create opportunities locally instead of remaining applicants to those opportunities created elsewhere. I don't know if it's clear. The conversation about AI fairness is too important for us to reduce into simple conclusions that we are being discriminated. In as much as we are demanding for accountability where bias exists, leaders support the research that exposes genuine problems, and also be technically precise about where those problems exist. And how we need some organizations which actually meet those standards, then that is the same reason, actually the main reason as to why we are building GigsUp. I don't know if it's clear. And the one alone does not guarantee access to global opportunities. And the things which you have already pointed out, like eligibility requirements, compliance, and client requirements, are very essential in us missing out on those opportunities. Then we talk about market access, whereby we have some few startups at the Silicon Valley or in some developed countries, which have been given the sole contracts of hiring for human resources, especially on AI training opportunities existing in the market. Also, we have the credibility gap, visibility, and the verified reputation as the biggest challenge. And this is something under the GigsUp community. We are working closely with Demo Africa to solve this problem. And I believe that by the end of the day, we will actually be able to reduce the credibility gap by taking people through the psychological awareness and proven frameworks that prepares them to participate in international or in the global opportunities. And lastly, of course, we know where we are getting our opportunities reliably. It's Fiverr and, of course, Upwork. And already we know that those markets are already preoccupied by some of the countries which went into freelancing area now, like the Indian or some Asian countries, and we are competing there, and you know how the competition is tough. So this is some of the problems which we are trying to solve at GigsUp, and we believe that they listen out with you. Because if you are a freelancer and we are building this thing together, then it means like you understand when you go to apply for makers, Nokel, Upwork, Fiverr, and the challenges which you're experiencing in those platforms. So our vision is just one. We are building a trusted ecosystem where freelancers become visible, credible, and discoverable. And we are doing that one is present for the global south people who are freelancing, because this is where we are missing most of the things which I've discussed here: the compliance aspect of it and the client's requirements. Then, of course, we know the platforms where people are doing freelancing, most in developed countries, and the advantages which they already have that you do not have. And then, of course, we know the credibility gap. There's no way we are going to present ourselves as an entity if we have not come together to organize ourselves and present ourselves as an identity layer from the global south. And of course, we are building the ecosystem itself. I've already mentioned to you that we are doing Within Africa. That is the legitimate pipeline for people who want to join GigsHub, because that's where we do psychological readiness using some of the knowledge bodies and the frameworks which have been proven to help you work on yourself and the human agents. So we launched, and you know what, that we are bootstrapping this one. Our team of 3 people who are helping me in building GigsHub community, primarily, then all of you are also supporting me in one way or the other, maybe by sharing the resources the way we saw it. That's led to our community development, especially when we did the mid-month community development or growth challenge. And you guys managed to share our community to different other communities and our resources that give us around 200 people. And what we are doing is that we are using content fast. And actually, we are doing very long posts. I think you have seen them. Some of them I can see people complaining saying that nobody's going to read this one. But then when they are saying that nobody's going to read that one, we already have 20 people who are joining the community through those long posts. And we like it because we are looking for the people who believe in what we say and who resonate well with our belief that we are going to build a talent identity layer for the global south. So for the last 30 days, I want to take you through some of the metrics which you managed to gain. Let me call it a scorecard. And this is what we managed to do. We managed to grow our own community to 1,100 plus freelancers. People who have read those long posts that we post. No entitlement, no screenshots of mine or anything. But people who believe in learning and growth. Then on the GigsHub platform, we have 134 signups. And out of those 134 signups, we have 8 people who have activated their profiles. A very important metric which we are measuring on GigsHub. Then, of course, we ran a campaign targeting, because I've been working closely and trying to interact with people who took the Hexa graduates, the people who took Achira programs, and they were exposed to freelancing. We reached out to around 600 people and we managed to get only 20, and it cost us $6. And you can see clearly that then the people are coming organically from the content which we are sharing in different communities. And this is what it has cost us so far, to be able to build this community and have these people who are interested. And of course, then to get these 8 people who have activated and listed as freelancers, with one of them having worked on 2 projects. Very interesting for us. So, as that base, you can see the funnel and how it's moving. You can see how it's reducing. And we want us to broaden it as it goes down. If it can't just be like a column, then let it not be the way it is. We believe that if we can be able to convert maybe 200 people to signups, and then we convert at least 50 people, then it becomes more interesting for people who are actually activating. Then, of course, we get the jobs. We couldn't put one job here because we only have one. And we believe that you're going to complete your profiles onboarding and get publicly listed. So there are 2 main channels which we managed to use to acquire what I've already shared with you. And the first one is paid, where I've actually shown you that we used $76 to reach out to those 20 freelancers. Majority of the people who joined our community and those who have signed up on GigsHub, they're just from organic community content that we have been distributing different communities around that communities that have freelancers. Because I've been in freelancing for a minute, I have access to those communities, and we are very happy about the community owners because they resonate with us and they have allowed us to share our content to their communities so that more people can be reached out to who are interested in learning and growing in freelancing. So this is simply, we can say that we have used 0.03 cost per freelancer without the organic outreach. And you can see that if we want to take the direction of using money to grow this community, it's going to be unsustainable and it will not help us in any way because We want people who resonate with what we do, people who come organically, and we build this community together. That is it. So is that we post value posts like the one which I've actually shared when I started the story before I could introduce the problems which we are trying to solve. We do those long posts, and we believe that if we are going to target people who can read fast, understand what we are trying to do before they come, it will be very important for us actually to grow as a community. And the content has actually given us over 85% of the signups. And we can't actually clearly say that, as I said, it may be 100% because we really do not know if those people who came from the campaign signed up. But we assume like maybe the 15% is for them. So the primary growth engine is community and content and compounding and compounding, of course, and people who believe in us, who share our comments, and who invite others to come and join the Gigster community. So why organic matters? Organic growth signals audience trust and cuts our dependence on advertising. And I've told you already that it won't be sustainable for us to be doing advertising, especially paid advertisements. But if we find someone who can help us reach out to the right people, because we have chance, which we have already established, that we can be able to get more people who actually want to grow within the Gigster community, then we welcome them to come and partner with us so that we can ask them the way we are doing things. So there's something which we call vanity performance. And I think I promise you guys that by the end of the day, we are going to learn a number of things. And because we are building a startup, it's better for us to understand about vanity performance. The biggest bottleneck we have is that we have only managed to activate 6% of the 134 signups which we have managed so far. And this activation rate is too small for now. And we hope that by the end of the next 2 months, we will be able actually to increase it to a number that resonates well with the rate which we are growing our community and having signups on the platform. And having said that one, I would like to introduce to you some of the marketplace KPIs, key performance indicators, which we are tracking, the metrics which you can prove that how market's actually working. And the first one is placement rate. From the day we started, as you can see, and out of that 8, it means we have only managed to convert or activate 8 people out of 134 who signed up on the platform. And I have been also checking on the back end. There is a good number of people who have actually completed. The only thing which is remaining for them is to run the AI evaluation, AI assessment. And there was a confusion there, and I want to clarify it again. AI assessment is not you sitting down to take an AI interview the way we do at Mecca as not like micro one. AI assessment is that the information which you are giving when you are setting up your profile will be taken again by AI, and then against our internal metrics or rubric which we have said, then it will assess all the information which you have shared, and then it will give you a report about where you rank, your level of expertise, and a report that a client will be able to see when you are publicly listed. So it is not basically you going and sitting for an interview. So since we started, we had one user who came to the platform. We never guided her. She set up their platform profile, and we every time we run our projects on AI. You can go and check the tutorial which we have done before. We post our project, and then we run AI suggestions, and AI will give us people who are likely to deliver that project. And we did it and successfully managed to get that one freelancer, and we deliberately, intentionally gave her the project to see if she can deliver at her own expenses, and she delivered the first one, and she did the second, and currently she's working on the third project, and machine learning and data science. That is the placement. So we have managed to do only one so far after 1 month, and we managed to get that job from our Fiverr and Upwork platforms here. We normally post those jobs there. The challenge is that we do not have enough profiles, and so that we can get more people work on the projects. It'll be a challenge, and remember, we are trying to solve our own challenge. The second metric which we are doing is retention rate. And this one, we have not even come close to it because we do not have external clients coming to the platform to request for someone to handle their project or give out tasks. And I hope that is an important one which we will be doing once we get enough traction of the freelancers who have activated their profiles, and then we will be reaching out to them. Revenue for project, for now, we can't have a discussion around it because we have put striping on our project and we have made it almost free. I think the only thing someone is required to activate their platform is to run an AI assessment, and the AI assessment needs 10 credits, and those credits are around $1 for you to get that report from the AI. And then we are discussing around having 10% revenue from the projects which will be posted, but right now we don't do that one because we are not yet there. Then of course we will be doing freelance success rate, and this one we are already doing it on a higher level. You can go to GigSite and then you will be able to see the metrics there, the projects which have been completed by around 3 people, and then you will be seeing how we measure those metrics. So this is how we are doing the placement rate. Does an activated freelancer get work? That is what we are interested in. So the freelancers who have received work and the number of activated freelancers will give us the placement rate. Then of course we have the rendition rate for completed second project against completed first project. So we can see that the rendition rate right now is maybe 1%. Let me say so, because we have already given out 3 projects to 1 freelancer. Not because she is the only one who is qualified, because we do not have enough listed freelancers to be ranked against the project, and then we issue out the project to them on merit basis, because we purely work on the AI ranking to give out the reports. And of course, if the project needs some assessment, extra assessment, we can reach out to the freelancer the way it normally happens, even in Fiverr. So these are some of the things which we are going to track in FT. For now, they are almost zero. The commission revenue per project, monthly run rate, and the revenue per freelancer. And we hope that you will be here enough, contribute to our community development, complete your onboarding, get listed, and then give us that freedom to go and reach out to the people who are likely to give you the projects. And we will bring them to the platform, and then by the end of the day, we'll be able to track these metrics, which we have identified that are important to us as for growth as a platform. So the 3 numbers that matter most to us is the activated freelancers, the first paid job rate, and the repeat job rate rendition. And I think it is not internal, because I told you guys we are going to build together. By the end of the day, we will see where we are moving to. So some of the things which I've learned here is that it is better, sometimes we ask AI so many things, including the content, the outreach, the channels, and AI gives us what it thinks like is right for us. But honestly, I can tell you that it may not be the case. Maybe already we have seen it and where they originate from at first. That statistical information is very important for any founder, because if you're going to rely on those AI-generated guidelines blindly, then you are likely to be misled. Because from when I was doing go-to-market strategy for GigSafe, especially on content development, and I realized that the AI was telling me that long content doesn't pay. Then I was thinking about it, and I realized that if you're going to do a short cash hook, and of course content to reach out to people, people may come, and actually most of them will come in large numbers, and they may not actually understand exactly what you are doing. So you will be having vanity numbers that will not help you. And out of that one, we decided to stick with long posts that communicate our vision and the things which we do, so that before someone decides to come to GigSafe channel, they have already read what we are talking about, and they have made a decision that let me go and see what's happening there. And I'm happy that I've received a number of people, a number of responses or feedback from the people who run communities where we have been posting our content, and they are like, okay, like people didn't think that people will be able to read all those long posts and then follow my channel and be able to grow in 1 month to more than 1,000 people. community members who we believe that resonate with what we do. So that is the biggest lesson which I have learned this far about building a community. And then other things, I am going to communicate them later because they are still live, like trying to tell people exactly that you do not have to stop at signing up. Sign up is just showing an interest, but completing your onboarding, getting listed is what matters to us. And if you believe in what we do and you do that one, then it means you're making contributions towards our development as a community and as freelancers from the global south. So the startup building isn't a short term. And I want these people who are watching this video. We measure it using data. We are not making comparisons to help us. Data right from signing up, activating, getting a job, getting paid, coming back again, getting another job. And that is the information which we are interested in. And that one takes time. It's not like the way we are doing right now, the way we are doing AI projects, training projects. You do this project today, you are doing a hair done. Tomorrow you are looking for another annotation project. No. That is not how we are doing it. We are building something that lands beyond a project, and we will be able to progress with data. And that's why I'm taking my time to come and update you every time on what we are doing as a startup using numbers. And you have already seen where the numbers are missing. Please, let's maybe contribute. By maybe completing our onboarding and getting listed, we get those numbers. Then it will give us an opportunity to go and reach out to people who we already know. I'd like you to give us those opportunities, maybe as individuals or as a talent vendor. So for things, for that they told us that intention is not tracked. We already have people on the platform, more than 1,000. And those people have actually not managed to get listed on the platform except the 8 people which we receive. The main thing is that we should get traction in numbers, and those numbers must be something which we track. And we say that freelance activation is something which is very important for us. Then another thing is that the community is an asset and it compounds. That is something which is very clear, and we are already there, and we thank you for that one. And of course, you need to know, and I will repeat this now and then, that activation is greater than signups, please. Because if you've noted that if you go to GigsUp platform, you with one click you've signed up. Continue with Google, you're done. But that is not really what we are more interested in. We are interested in activation, and that's why we are saying like activation is greater than signups. A live profile picks a dormant account. And this is the biggest challenge which we have, and it's very common, but I believe that we are going to work towards achieving activation rate. Then, of course, the systems are a bit hype. We know we are building a system, and we are building a system holistically, because I've already given you an overview about GigsUp and then Widem Africa, where we are doing psychological awareness to prepare people around some of the proven frameworks that can help them operate on human agents. And together with the collaboration which we have, by the end of the day, we are going to beat the hype with those 2 systems which we are working on at the moment. So for the next 90 days, we believe that we are going to improve onboarding. Let's complete our onboarding, please, as a community. It doesn't take time. And we are going to invite people to those 100 people who have applied for different tracks under GigsUp. And when we will be calling for a human agents session, which will be happening next week, please come. We may have some few minutes maybe to look at the profiles, those who have not completed. You can come and join us so that we can complete together, because we believe like efforts and collaboration at the same time will help us complete our onboarding. And also we are aiming to increase activation to 20% plus. Currently we are at 6, so let's try and activate. Then of course we want to secure fast successful placements, and of course these ones we are going to do it locally, not even using anyone or the people we are targeting for scaling. We are going to do it locally because we help people who run freelancing workstations. They have opportunities. Sometimes they cannot be able to get enough people to deliver. They are going to post their projects on GigsUp, and then they are going to run the AI. Unfortunately, right now we have only 8 people. Who are they going to rank if nobody's completing their profile? Then, of course, we want to measure orientation, and we believe that that will come after we have completed our profiles and most of the things which we have already discussed. Join us in building the future of freelancing in Africa. This is our website, gigshub.com with this hyphen, don't forget it, and be part of the channel. Thank you.